Well, for the second part, one thing is for sure that we need to solve this problem with serious negotiations, with polite diplomatic conversations. Because what has happened so far has been the brutal conversation, brutal communication, use of harsh language, abusive language on the part of the Americans and more so the American president has certainly infuriated the Iranians, and Iranians are not used to such communication. They take a threat as a threat, they take abusive language as an abusive language, they take harsh comment as a harsh comment, and they have been through a very fierce war. The war is not yet over. So, under the circumstances, they want the other party to be diplomatically polite, they want the other party to talk sense, they want the other party to enter themselves in serious negotiations. That's what we don't see. There was a great opportunity for the Americans when they had first lap of the conversation negotiation in Islamabad, and they had almost reached uh, a point where they could sign an agreement. But then at that time, the American villainy, American connivingness emerged, and they did not harm anyone else. If they had harmed somebody, someone, a nation, they were themselves, they were the nation, they were the party who lost at the situation. When J.D. Vance just came out of the quarters of negotiation just to attend a call and then never returned, flew back to USA. In fact, it was not J.D. Vance who flew back to USA. The opportunity of a permanent ceasefire had flown away. An opportunity of a favorable agreement for the Americans had flown away. It was a wonderful chance, wonderful opportunity that they could have brought the Iranians on certain parts of the agreement, and they should have signed it by then, but they didn't. It was not the only time that one of the American folly made such a flaw, such a fall, such a defeat. Talk about Barack Obama presidency when he was successful in bringing uh, an agreement between USA and Iran, and the Europeans were also a part of it. And in that agreement, Barack Obama successfully convinced the Iranians not to go for any of the nuclear adventure, and Iranians would have been brought back into the international trade, sanctions would have been lifted. But when Barack Obama completed his term and left presidency, there came the fanatic president Donald Trump, and Donald Trump dissolved the agreement with the Iranians. And of course, it was a great blow to the American interest. What they had achieved 10 years ago, they are struggling to achieve it again. It was achieved with the uh, Iranians in 2016 in the era of Barack Obama. And when Donald Trump came into power, he dissolved the agreement. And ever since then, America has been struggling to achieve what Barack Obama had already achieved. So I can very rightly say that these are the follies of the American establishment, American presidency, American government, that they have made foolish choices, and that has ended up in frustration for the whole nation, especially to the government in White House.